folks, my name is Jürgen, aka Nerd and Proud of It, and Destiny has brought you to my channel today to talk about the different communities of the different trading card games. For the purpose of the argument, we're gonna talk about Magic the Gathering, Flesh and Blood, Sorcery, and a little bit about Pokemon because I don't want to leave them out. And I want to talk about the behavior of the community against other people that might not be in the community, but people that are in their community as well. I think it is not always the best kind of behavior. As you see, it is a very sunny day here in the Netherlands, so I thought, hey, it is a heavy subject. I normally, if I talk about that kind of stuff, I normally get a lot of bad feedback, and I thought, oh, do I want to do this? And I was pushing it aside for quite a while. I wanted to talk about it because I had some good experiences and some bad experiences, and yeah, I thought it's my fucking channel, so I talk about whatever the fuck I want. And I want to talk about this because I have been talking to people that actually have the same experience as I do. You see, I actually had to get my big box of Flesh and Blood here. This is just my decks and some loose cards. I still have some sealed stuff. Yeah, maybe want to play sealed one day. And I needed to dig that out because I haven't played it for a while. But let's start with Magic the Gathering. I think this is the most relatable to all of us. Magic the Gathering is the first real trading card game. It had quite the following from the beginning, with ups and downs, of course. Overall, I've been playing since 1994. I played in tournaments, I played just for fun. I worked with the game for the game. I can honestly say I actually experienced the community from all angles. Within, from the outside, from the side of a player, from the side of a collector. And I think it's fair to say that the Magic the Gathering community is a very good community. I hear people often say, the Gathering community is a toxic community. To me, it always has been good. I had fun at tournaments as long as it lasted. I wouldn't want to do it now. I haven't played tournaments for I think 2005 or 6 was the last time I played a tournament. Some pro tour somewhere. I think in Dortmund, Germany. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I think the Magic the Gathering community is fine. Of course, there are good people and bad people, but overall, everybody is nice to each other. You can sit down, play a couple of games, or if you just want to play with your friends, everybody's fine with it. If you want to collect cards, same thing. If you want to invest in cards, same thing. And there will always be those people that are shouting, hey, it's just game pieces. And they want everything for €1. I think that are the most toxic people in the community because they don't realize that it's actually bad for the game, and I think they are very egoistic. But yeah, in general, I think the community is a good one. Pokemon, that sentence will probably trigger a lot of people, but Pokemon. I'm not very much into the Pokemon scene. I see it with my kid. He is collecting Pokemon. He's not really playing it. As most kids, they are just preferring collecting it. I did some stuff for the Pokemon trading card game about 15 years ago. So I saw the community scene. Saw the collector scene and so on and so on. I think it's okay, especially if I look at the young kids today, and some of my son's friend, they are actually handing out cards for free on the playground because people are like, oh, my dad is not buying me Pokemon cards. Like, here you go, you have this, I don't know, insert whatever Pokemon you like. Flesh and Blood, that's a bit of a different story. Personally, I like Flesh and Blood. I played it. I think it's a nice game. It's a different game to Magic the Gathering, and I was up for something different. And I played a lot of trading card games. And of course, there are a lot more trading card games than you see here, but I keep it to those 4. I have some criticism about the game or on the game. I think some things are not done very well. And one thing for me is that once you get behind and you have to use cards to defend yourself in your opponent's turn, you just will draw your cards at the end of your turn, so you can't use them in your turn. So once you get into a position of disadvantage, it's very, very difficult to come back. And that's all I said about the game. And I think for the rest, the art is nice. The raw violence that Magic the Gathering lacks is nice. I think the whole setup is cool. I think in general, okay. But you don't want to know how many people from the Flesh and Blood community were really angry about me outing some criticism. And that went a bit further when I said I didn't agree with the Monarch situation. That they were like, yeah, it's Channel Fireball. They put up the prices high. If you're not familiar with the story, none of the boxes were available readily. And then Monarch came out and they sold the boxes for $200. And then those were readily available. And of course, we all got screwed because it was overprinted and the market couldn't handle it. Talking about Sorcery in a second, but enjoy the nice back of the card here while I finish that other thought. So I said that, and I said that in Europe the boxes were $200 as well. So I think it was a cash grab by the company, and they knew exactly what they're doing, and they overestimated the demand in the market, and they almost killed the game with it, and people were like going crazy. You blah blah blah. I don't know. I don't care. Let's see what the comments on this video will be, because I said a couple of triggering things. Sorcery. Up to now, strangely enough, I really like the game. I think the community is very awesome and absolutely not as toxic as the Flesh and Blood community. Yeah, there I said it. I think the Flesh and Blood community can be pretty toxic. Not all of them, not all of the Flesh and Blood players, of course, but probably the ones that are getting triggered. And it is what it is. Sorcery, to me, up to now, everybody's friendly. The communication on the different social media platforms, for me that's mainly Discord, is really nice. People are looking out for each other. People are enjoying collecting. People are happy for each other that somebody has pulled a certain card. I don't know, whatever. It's very strange that the whole vibe, maybe because it's mainly collectors at this point, but the whole vibe is super positive. And once players come in, it can stay positive, as we see with Magic the Gathering, because there is just so many people there that actually share the same passion. But if it's a player-focused game like Flesh and Blood, then I think players sometimes feel a bit entitled to cheap game pieces, and every criticism on that game or somebody has when it comes to that game, then people are getting like angry and impolite and just mean as well, which is a bit disturbing sometimes. It is what it is, folks. Again, this is just my opinion. Probably the people that get triggered by some comments are not here at the end of the video anymore anyways. That's fine. But it's just my opinion. I'm curious what you think the communities are like. Do you think because I got some feedback from a couple of people of whom I value their opinion very, very highly from within the trading card game community in general. They play different games as well, and they feel a bit the same, which is interesting to hear. So I'm curious what you feel about the communities. High-end collectors, by the way, really high-end collectors are very toxic as well. That's a different story that doesn't really have to do with a certain trading card game or a certain community, but they feel like they are the only ones knowing about the deep secrets of the game, and everything you put out there they are just angry about, and their opinion is the opinion that's valid. So that's a different story, but I'm not singling out the Flesh and Blood community, and again, not in general, right? It's just I think a certain part of that community is very toxic, and that actually made me. That's why I had to dig out the box. That made me stop talking about the game. That made me stop playing the game, because I didn't like that. It was very, very nasty in my opinion. It is what it is, folks. Hey, let me know what you think. I'm really, really curious. Don't get triggered. That's not my intention. If you are getting triggered, sorry. Yeah. Everybody has their opinion, and people should get used to the fact that it's okay that some people have different opinions, as long as you voice them respectfully, and we don't even have to have the same opinion, just to have a nice, normal, respectful argument or conversation. Stay healthy, folks. Stay frosty. I hope you know what I mean. Thanks a lot for listening. I talk to you next time. Bye-bye.